Mission complete for Kaya FC Iloilo as they once again become champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara. Kaya completed their flawless campaign by beating the Azkals Development Team in the final last Friday, 1-0. Kenshiro Daniels delivered when it mattered most. He scored the only goal of the match in the 47th minute. This is Kaya's second title in the Copa Paulino Alcantara. They first won the tournament during its inaugural run back in 2018. And now joining us to go all out on this story are Kaya FC Iloilo team captain Jovin Bedic and general manager Paul Tolentino. Welcome back to the show, Paul and Jovin. Congratulations! Champions once again sa Copa Paulino Alcantara.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andre.
Masaya ba kayo? Parang hindi kakagising nyo lang dalawa. Paul.
Masaya yan.
Ayun, grabe yung trophy. Ayun si Jovin, no? Ayun yung trophy. Jovin?
Masaya yan, syempre. Nandito yung trophy, oh.
Grabe, Jovin, yung naging campaign nyo, ha? Hindi lang sa nanalo kayo ng championship, pero shut out all of your opponents. That smile on Paul Tolentino's face says it all. That campaign you had on the Copa. Balikan natin, Jovin. Anong masasabi mo about that run you had? Is it safe to say this was a better run than your previous championship dun sa Copa a few years ago?
Yun nga, on and off na yung training and yung after Champions League, medyo hindi natin alam kung matutuloy nga yung league. And yun nga, itong cup, pinupush through ng PFF and of course our management. Very lang kami, thankful na natuloy yung cup kasi nga after Champions League wala nang liga eh. So paano yung momentum namin after ng Champions League, yung experience namin hindi namin mabigay. So malaking bagay talaga na push through ito ng PFF para sa lahat ng mga players sa Pilipinas.
Grabe. Grabe din yung pinagdaanan nyo despite the pandemic and everything. And I remember I was speaking with Paul before the tournament even started. And prior to the Copa, pinag-usapan nga natin, Paul, yung how expectations were really high for Kaya, realistically, especially after United City FC pulled out of this tournament. At which point, Paul, did you have that feeling, honestly, na sure to, mukhang amin tong Copa na to this year? When did you have that sense? Modesty aside.
I'm never one to feel 100% about anything, but
Okay.
even before the tournament started, I felt very good about the team. I felt very good about the energy within the group and the determination I knew all these guys had. They had been waiting since the start of the year, and then they had that good campaign in Bangkok despite the results. The growth, the determination, the desire they all had to win a trophy was really reverberating around the group. And the moment they announced that the Copa would happen and at least there would be one competition this season, I felt very, very good. But to ever say I felt 100%, maybe in the 94th minute, right before the whistle was blown.
Grabe. We looking back here, the jubilation last Friday. Look at that pure sheer happiness and the joy of Kaya, and well-deserved naman talaga. Jovin, kung babalikan natin yung final against the Azkals Development Team, you guys won that game 1-0 on a goal from Kenshiro Daniels early in the second half. Pero alam naman natin na tong ADT, yung Azkals Development Team, they've proven na kaya nilang bumawi from a goal down. It was evident in this tournament as well. What were the keys? Kumbaga, ano yung mga naging preparation and susi para sa inyo to make sure na hindi makabalik tong ADT, na dyan lang kayo, they're held at bay, especially lalo na nung nakagol nga kayo, lumamang na kayo?
Siguro nga yung experience nga, ginamitan sila ng mga tinatawag natin ng veterans move nga. Kasi nga gusto namin i-delay yung game. Napakahirap kasi nilang kalaban kasi sobrang dami mga young talents. Sabi ko nga parang hindi sila naubusan ng energy the whole 90 minutes. So kailangan namin i-sustain sila. But yun nga, nakuha namin yung goal namin this season and yung mabalik sa Iloilo yung trophy, and of course siguro wedding gift siguro kay boss na nakuha namin yung trophy this season.
Siyempre, isa sa mga Jovin, yung malalaking kwento dito, wala nga si Harvey Gayoso para sa ADT because of his hamstring injury. I'm sure kahit kayo, you would have wanted Harvey to be there, 'di ba? Para yung ganun naman talaga sa sports but of course injuries are also part of sports. Mas gusto mo ba, ikaw personally, mas gusto mo ba sana, Jovin, na sana naglaro or nakalaban si Harvey nandun siya sa ADT para at least kumpleto din yung lineup ng ADT at yung final?
Yes, of course. Siguro mas magiging malakas sila pag nandun sa Harvey kasi nga malaking bagay nga sa taas si Harvey. And nag-usap nga kami after nung na-injured siya na may offer siya sa Thailand. Tapos sabi ko, alagaan mo lang yung injury mo kasi nga malaking bagay and exposure mo for next season yung Thailand. Yun nga, yung nangyari sa kanya, malaking kawalan talaga sa ADT. But para sa akin nga, kung nakalaro siya, much better para mas makita ng tao and yung laro ng ADT na nandyan siya. And of course kami din na kung paano kayo maglaro kalaban sila.
How about you, Paul? Would you have wanted to see a championship match between Kaya and a complete ADT?
100%. I think Harvey was part of our group early in the year, right? And I don't like it when any player,
of course,
whichever team they're on, are injured. It's not something that's a nice feeling for any athlete. And as competitors and as athletes, we want to compete against the best. And it's consistent with what we said when you were asking us about the other club backing out. And would we have wanted them, or would it be easier for us if they stayed out of the competition? And no, I mean, we wanted Harvey to play. He's part of our group as well, even though we would have had to play against him. And I think majority of our team actually reached out to him right after the semifinal and had a couple words with him. I know I did, and was really rooting for him. But he does have bigger things ahead of him, and he needs to focus on those things. And we all wish him well and a quick recovery because, he's a very important piece of Philippine football.
Yes, I agree.
We need him in the group.
It's class act on your part, and it's just ganun talaga. Injury is a part of sports, but at the same time, you wanted to compete against a team that's really complete, also to see and gauge where you're at. What lies ahead for the new champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara? Well, Kaya team captain Jovin Bedic and general manager Paul Tolentino will tell us after the break. But for now, let's take a look at our quiz question of the day. NBA player Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons became the third rookie in team history to post a triple-double. Who are the other two? We've got the correct answer for you later on the show. Sports Desk is taking a timeout. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Only here, the Sports Desk on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to Sports Desk, only here on CNN Philippines. Today, we still have with us Kaya FC Iloilo team captain Jovin Bedic and general manager Paul Tolentino. And if you're just tuning in, Kaya won this year's Copa Paulino Alcantara actually last Friday when they defeated ADT in the final 1-0. And I mentioned earlier, Paul and Jovin, that you guys shut out all your opponents. Shut out lahat in the Copa. And Paul, syempre, one of the keys to Kaya's stellar defense has been your keeper. Let's focus our attention sa keeper nyo muna. Mag-focus tayo dito kay Louis Casas because he even won the Golden Gloves for his performance. Pag-usapan natin yung value ni Louis to your team, Paul.
I think Mike, we call him Mike, sorry.
Mike, okay, no problem.
He's Louis Michael Casas. He's very, very experienced. I mean, to be honest, he was actually my teammate back in 2005 in preparation for the SEA Games. So I know him very, very well. We don't need to call out his age. But he's seen it all, been through it all, won many trophies in his lifetime. And not only is he valuable for the team, but he's also been valuable for our other goalkeeper who also played the first game against ADT. And the way they push each other and the way they motivate each other, it's really inspiring to see that despite the two of them competing so hard for one position because as a goalkeeper, it's really the most difficult competition because you don't have a backup position, unlike if you're a defender or a midfielder or an attacking player. And he just brings a calmness and a stability to our group for the defenders and for the midfielders that I think was the backbone for us being able to not concede a goal all tournament, which, the staff and the management were extremely proud of that achievement.
Well, we were showing earlier the scores and how you fared in the Copa. There it is. Of course, 2-0 against Azkals, against ADT, and then 6-0 against Mendiola. Jovin, hindi lang naman si Louie o si Michael. Yan, ito yung mga scores natin, nakikita natin. Ang nanalo ng individual award, ikaw din mismo, Jovin, nanalo ka ng Golden Ball for lahat, your overall performance in this year's Copa. Your thoughts on this award, Jovin?
Siguro, kung paano ko nadala din yung team kasi nga, semifinal, malaking kailangan ko talaga yung pressure sobra-sobra sa semifinals. Kasi 0-0, 85th minute na. So kailangan ko mag-step up. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, if ever na mag-miss man yung penalty ko, blame nyo lahat sa akin. Ako kasi yung nagre-risk talaga pag mga ganong bagay. So pag mali man hindi ko mag-goal, ako yung i-blame nyo, but for sure, dadalhin ko yung team pag victory naman. So, siguro doon din nakita rin na sa buong liga na kung paano ko nadala yung team. Siguro, yun. Napakasaya lang na despite na pandemic, nakakuha pa rin tayo ng ganitong mga awards. Parang iba yung award na to kaysa sa mga dating mga competition lang kasi pandemic nga, nag-push through yung liga and nakakuha ka ng award para sa team, and yun nga, yung makuha yung trophy this season malaking bagay para sa club.
Iba. Hindi makakalimutan lalo na nga because of the situation we're in, because of the pandemic. And yan yung gusto ko lang sabihin while listening to you, Jovin. Yan yung, kumbaga, karakter ng isang leader. And, Kaya is really fortunate to have someone like you as their leader. Looking ahead now, Paul, what's next for Kaya? What competitions do you have lined up for the team?
I think we're waiting on the final announcements for Asian Club competition.
I see.
Whether
Okay.
we have to go through a preliminary and playoff again for the Champions League, or we're able to go straight into the group stage. A few of our players are going to get call-ups for the Suzuki Cup, and then the other players we're hoping get to rest and recover a little bit and prepare for a start in the PFL around the end of February next year. So not much of a break, to be honest, this time around.
It's gonna be it's still gonna be hectic, especially for that guy, for Jovin, and for your team, for your boys. Konting pahinga here and there, pero talagang back to work in a few months' time. So just enjoy this for now. Jovin, as a team moves forward, narinig natin ang mga plano ni Boss Paul. Ano yung mga gusto mong kumbaga i-improve pa, kundi sa sarili mo, pati sa team, sa whole team, yung mga gusto mo pang, syempre lagi naman pag makita natin sa next tournament, lalo ka na, hindi ka nakukontento, yung gusto mo pang i-level up ng team?
Siguro nga sa team, mas gusto natin every year talagang makalaro sa international level yung club, para din sa Pilipinas. So every year yung goal naman ng club namin is makapaglaro para sa Pilipinas and sa mga Champions League. So itutuloy-tuloy lang namin, and of course i-develop pa namin yung core namin kung ano man yung meron kami ngayon, para yung momentum hindi mawala until next season and sa darating pang taon.
Well, maraming salamat. Congratulations muli sa inyong dalawa. Ganda ng shirt ni Paul, no, Jovin?
Yes. Tigyan mo ako, boss.
Shirting cap.
Padala ka sa captain.
Uwi natin sa Iloilo.
Padala ka din dito, Jovin. Paul.
Done.
Congratulations once again, Paul. And thank you again for joining us. Jovin, keep doing what you're doing. We're happy for you. Congratulations to Kaya. Again, we just had team captain Jovin Bedic and General Manager Paul Tolentino of Kaya FC Iloilo, your champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara.